here. We got our...
A lot to say indeed. It's going to be Ryuoh out in the mainstream right now because they are ready, and we're going to having a first battle between Japan and Canada here. Kind of representing what we had yesterday for the crew battle, if I remember well. Ryuoh against Ouch. On the other hand, we have Toriguri against Ken. Okay, interesting. Monty against, I think it's Raru? I'm not sure. And then Quandel doing a legal turn against Snow, if I'm correct. So pretty interesting overall, except some good smash bros, as we said before. Right now, what can we talk about? What can we say about Ryuoh against Ouch?
I mean, we've got the local legend here, getting off started with a pretty strong, establishing some good stage control here. A little bit of the lead to get back from, but getting started here, and I think this is going to be a real scrappy match just with the way these two play. And when you're piloting these types of characters, I expect it to be pretty explosive, and I expect this match to go pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty explosive indeed. Quick correction here, it's not Raru, it's Raki. My Japanese is a bit rusty, so I was close enough.
Yeah.
So Monty against Raki going to be what's happening down there. Anyway, Ouch will take the lead against Ryuoh here, 115% out really on point this week. And did you see how he went earlier today?
Yeah.
I think it was against Leo, right?
Yeah, it was incredibly close. It was a bit of a heartbreaker. The whole venue was over there cheering on their BC legend. But, you know, Ouch finding himself here in bracket now, making a real case for making it later on into this bracket. Starting to start this controlling lead. Nice parry there. Really just good stuff out of the gate here.
Yeah, definitely. Let me check what's happening on the other side. Ken will take the lead against Toriguri. Meanwhile, Monte and Raki is going to be pretty long. I don't think we're going to focus on this one, guys. Sorry for the others. Quandel legal turn against Snow. Seems like Snow has the upper hand. All right, back to Ryuoh against Ouch. Lead, I would say, yeah, this is going to kill. No, never mind. Ryuoh will not get the kill, but look at that. We are on the ledge. He will not connect with that side B, and the situation just got reversed.
And Ouch
again.
Yeah, and Ouch really good about looking for those offstage nairs to clip that recovery. Not afraid to go off stage with a character who's typically, you know, falls a bit like a rock. So you've got to really know how to pilot that movement to make that work. Whiffing the grab there.
Whiffing the grab and getting punished accordingly with that up tilt, and Ryuoh takes the lead. Obviously, as long as Ouch doesn't take any damage, he could definitely just 7D out just like that. Perfect. Thank you. Last stock, between Ryuoh and Ouch for this first game.
Looking to get something started here with that banana play. As we know, very easy to get some serious combo games started. But the falling nair is going to reverse it just as quickly. And like we were saying, this is going to be a real scrappy back and forth. It's not always clear who is really in the driver's seat of that advantage state.
Yeah, it's kind of if I'm in advantage, I'm going to push it to the best I can. But in those kind of situations, if you were to have the wrong guess, you're just going to reverse the whole situation. And this is literally what's happening right there. Ouch had the upper hand, and look at that. Ryuoh takes it now out of his grasp. Okay,
looking for that down tilt.
He doesn't have any jumps. I think he had it. Never mind. I'm just a caster.
We're just casters here. I love the double shine. Looking for that option at ledge. A little bit uncanny.
And there it is. With that banana peel will be enough for Ryuoh to take the lead in this first game here. Meanwhile, I think Quandel is having some issue against Snow. I did see a 2 stocks lead before getting to this point here. Look at his materials. It's not looking.
There it goes. There it goes.
All right, back onto the main action here. As we said before, it's going to be really back and forth between the two here. Ouch does have the slight lead here, but again, one wrong comet is going to be enough for Ryuoh to make it back for sure. Except he just got gipped on his recovery.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Laser being a really effective tool out there at that kind of mid-range off stage to force him into a recovery option he didn't quite want to take. Not able to get those rocket boosters back to stage. Some shield play going on here, that mental stack at play there. We're like thinking, why didn't they do this? It's because at high level, which is, you know, again, we're just casters, there's a mental stack going on. What is my opponent going to do? And sometimes you just hold shield.
Yeah, definitely. And look at that. On this, Ryuoh is just doesn't care anymore about that specific mental charge we're talking about. He's just going in. Seems like it was a good call because he was pretty far behind. Obviously, Ouch being at 60% or so.
Right.
Does manage to even the odds. Even take the lead right now. Okay, get off the stage again. 14% advance. He does have the banana. No, never mind. The banana is in the hands of Ouch up to the point it isn't anymore.
Just a clinic here on how to edge guard Wolf. really showing the disjointness of these F tilts.
Yeah. Okay, no grab here, no punish. The monkey feet will not find its target, and up be out of as an evasive action is going to be enough again. It works well. We saw Twig do it a lot earlier, and even in doubles, it does have a lot of damage when you're in the blast zone. So I do understand the process here.
I feel like it was a later Diddy meta. Like, we didn't see that earlier on in Ultimate, but now, like, people kind of thought it was a meme. It's like, no, this is a legitimate option. Double down tilt fair to clean up that stock and take the lead here against Ouch. Ouch making a point here, trying to bring it back.
Yeah, Ouch being angry about the whole situation. This is literally the definition of a back and forth game. Ouch took the lead first, Ryuoh took it back, and now it's Ouch's turn to get his revenge.
Looking for maybe some Shine combos to get started here, but getting that kind of initial 40-ish% combo that Wolf is usually able to establish.
Yeah. Oh, and a very good call out here on the drop double jump. Yeah, Evan Ryuoh respects it. I don't know if you guys checked the camera, but he was like, yep. Okay, run it back. This is going to be a full set on PS2 for sure. Yeah.
The big old green menace. I've been, you know, an advocate of reskinning the stage for, you know, a little while, but you know, that's just the nature of the beast. We like playing there. It's a comfort pick for a lot of people.
No, I do agree. Meanwhile, sorry, I was just checking. Targuri just SD'd against Ken here.
Unfortunate.
But I want to congratulate them. After, I think, roughly 6 minutes and a half, they did manage to finish the first game. So, wow. Congratulations, guys.
Really making it, making that time count.
Monty against Raki. Raki did win the first game. It seems that Monty is now in the lead. With, it wasn't really stuck up to this point, but you know what? Hey, we're talking about Steve here. Quandel, Ligaton will take game 2 against Snow. Seems like it's going to be a very long set between the two players from Japan and America. But let's focus back onto Canada and get Japan here.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are, as I have to eat my own words, we're going out to FD.
Yeah.
Comforts be damned. And we'll have to see how this lack of platforms is going to change the game plan of both players.
Pretty interesting indeed, because I do guess Ryuoh is going to be using his banana way more, as in there's no like banana platform to avoid them. But on the other hand, it's going to be way easier for Ouch to just shark below that banana, that monkey. Except, yeah, there's the monkey feet, so it's going to be pretty hard still.
Ooh. Eat that banana into an F smash. Classic, just really solid item play. You've got to at this top level. It doesn't matter if you play an item character. You've got to be cognizant of that item and how you're going to be able to use it, what you can confirm into it, and starting to put on that extra credit.
Yep, definitely. There we go. Kind of breaking the rhythm that we had in the first game, because right now, it's just out extending his advantage little by little, even taking really high risk here by going so far away from the stage. And this is working. Look at that, a full stock ahead now.
Yeah, and like I was saying earlier, Ouch not uncomfortable to go for these offstage options. He knows exactly what his character is capable of. We're monkey, doing a little bit of Z dropping just to put up a wall.
That was the definition of monkey business we got there, and it seems to be working for Ryuoh. He stopped the bleeding at 123% though. That's still a kill percent, and you know already the Ouch is just going to
trade it out
with that back air, and it's going to be enough. Full stock ahead again for the Canadian.
All right, let's see what this. A little bit of damage to start it off. Ooh, brave air dodge in, but it works out.
Okay, 3 fair in a row. Maybe a 4th one for Gumirter. Give me 70. There we go, 70, 80. Perfect.
Back air.
And now 90.
Man, Ouch just putting on a clinic here of how to keep the monkey at ledge. Really having trouble here, looking for that shine a little early on it, but doesn't matter. Gets the throw.
Send this monkey to prison, because right now it doesn't look good here for Ryuoh. Didn't leave that ledge for a minute at this point. A lot of pummels here from the Canadian players. Obviously, Ryuoh will be enough to get off that prison to get to the other blast zone. And Ouch will take the lead now. 2-1.
Really explosive back and forth here. And now down, taking a look.
No, don't take a look. Look, you know what? I think it's the first time out of every single time I was on Quad Stream, there's no point in going to the other games. You want to focus on only one. And every single time you're like, hey, maybe take a look at the others. You're like, yeah, nah, actually I'm very fine with Ryuoh against Ouch.
I'm not seeing anyone in chat. Like
complaining.
I'm not seeing it.
No, for real.
And I asked, you know, I love to hear from the chat, but right now I think they're liking to see the scrappy, aggressive back and
maybe in the
forth.
only situation where even the chat agrees with us.
I know, right? That never happens.
Yeah, that never happens.
But for once, we've come to a state of agreement. Oh, getting it started there, and yeah, Wolf is not going to be able to recover.
Yes, and we talk about lead. This one is tremendous. A full stock ahead now for Diddy Kong. What are you going to do? Yeah, you're always kind of a panic in those situations. You want to say, oh, I can't make it back, and you take risks, obviously. Not going to pay, unfortunately, and Ryuoh gets away with a very full stock ahead.
Yeah, really making a statement there to start off this game, and we see them wrap around. Oh my gosh, it seems like somehow those Rockets always know how to come back around and aid their monkey brethren.
Back throw, perfect. Now what? Is he going for the, yeah, it's going for the up B. There's going to be a parry on it. Not, unfortunately, they're not going afterwards, but that banana throw into back air was nearly enough to get a kill.
And Ouch here, parry, had the banana in hand, but wasn't able to make it happen, and we're seeing the up smash. Man, Ryuoh making a real statement here in Game 4, saying, yeah, I'm not getting knocked out that easily. I mean, I hesitate to count Ouch out at this point, but I mean, it's looking like this is going to be a Game 5.
This looks like a Game 5 and a very clean, like, 3-stock, even for Ryuoh. Look at that.
Oh, unfortunate, not quite able to get the timing right on that grab attempt.
Yeah, no jump though. This time around, he's cooked. Never mind. Gauch again taking a lot of risk to go out there. After not going to get a kill, but he will push Ryuoh out of the stage. Are you going to try to...
Almost got it.
No cigar, yeah.
Finally going to be able to... Not quite.
Don't kerosene.
Fake kill screen there. All right, banana in hand. Still working on this 174%.
Yeah.
Really need to finish this stock off.
Not this time either. You have to respect the movements of Ryuoh. He's just monkeying around at this point. Again, jumping left and right, using the reverse neutral Bs, the monkey flips, everything he has to just avoid Ouch.
Yeah, and looking for those little options finally is going to get taken out. But at 70%, an entire fresh stock to work on now.
What are we going to do?
Oh, what a read.
The call out here again. It's been 2 games, one after the other. We start to have call outs on on each side. So, and I'm quite happy to have a Game 5 here against these 2 players because
yeah, like you said, like you said, you know, Game 5 means we stay here, right?
Bro, the only one that actually kind of sped up was Snow against Quandale Dingleton, where they're on Game 3 or 4.
But I don't want to have to say Quandale Dingleton every time.
Quandale Toriguri on still at it, and I have to remind you guys, Toriguri got an SD in Game 2, which is why it ended up sooner than expected. And Monte will take the lead against Raki. All right, back into what's happening. Back onto the hype.
Yeah, back onto the hype. We're
Ouch
here
takes the lead.
On Town and City, getting things started. We're effectively going to transition to an FD situation pretty soon here. But for now, the platforms are in play.
And leaving, I think, in 2 seconds? I'm not sure. No, it's a half a second. It's half a minute, sorry.
All right, now we transition to FD. They've just been scrapping the whole time, candidly. Platforms haven't made a huge difference. Ooh, looking for the banana snipe.
Not going to happen this time around, but the pressure of Ryuoh will be enough to just get through the wall. Oh, never mind.
Yep, Ouch just finding the back air.
Sneak in and find his own kill move with the back air. It's going to be enough to get a kill. Again, now we need to incentivize on it.
All right. Ouch looking to capitalize on this lead. See if we can add any extra credit on this Game 5. I'm sure we are going to start to hear some of the Canadians in the building cheering for their guy.
I mean, you guys have headsets. It's very hard to hear. Anyway, 126%. Not a lot of pressure on that monkey, so he will survive a bit more, I guess, in some interactions.
Get out of there.
Get out of there, indeed. Up another blaster. It works so well. Why won't you? Why do you want to change your? Yeah. Okay.
There we go.
Maybe it doesn't work that well. Good catch again. 56%. A pommel after this banana peel.
I feel like Ouch has gotten almost, not as much, but almost as much utility out of the banana as Ryuoh has throughout the course of this match.
Yeah, that's something you see with top players. Whenever they have to face a character that uses those items so much, you have to kind of add them, include them in your own game plan. And he seems to be working pretty well here for Ouch. Again, as you were saying, taking a very clean lead. Those barrels are very scary, I have to agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a very bad DI from Ryuoh. Ouch will take a clean stock lead. And you talk about the Canadians in the crowd. I can hear them.
We can hear them.
I have to agree.
Getting those lasers out. Why not just control center stage and tack on some extra percent? Well, here's a reason why, because I can dash in and potentially punish that.
6%. Still not enough to get a kill. So obviously we are going to ramp up damage on that last stock of Ryuoh. Does he have any shots? Yeah, he still had one. So you're going to aim for this platform using the banana to just kind of force Ryuoh to drop his shield and get punished with the back here.
And now Ouch in the driver's seat here on center stage. Got the banana in hand and not going to be in kill percentage yet.
Keeping his jump after the banana throw just to be sure to have it for his recovery was, again, very patient move.
Very patient, just really good management of his options.
Now what? Right, back throw? Back throw. Okay, I expected him to keep him fresh, you know, to get a kill. You never know.
Yeah, because on these side blast zones too, you want that option.
But hey, you know what? It's not like he doesn't have any other option to get a kill, and at this point he still have one full stock ahead, so it seems like victory is slipping away from the hands of Ryuoh here.
Yeah, absolutely. And now at this percentage, I mean, unfortunately, those upper blast zones are going to be a bit of a liability for Diddy Kong, not able to get those kills as early as he would like. Ouch, slowly picking away. And even with that trade, I mean, 146% you get the stock.
Dropping, not getting the kill, obviously, getting gipped a bit by this kill screen, sorry. 171%, 181. If Ryuoh goes for a very cheeky move, he could find a kill.
Like something like this.
Does look like, no, the DI was off.
The DI. Not expecting, I mean, you don't expect the Nair to come through and clip like that, right? And even